Hi everybody and welcome to the Child's Play Torquay 3 and 4-year-old kindergarten information evening. I think we'll all agree that it's a very different information evening than what we thought we were going to have. So hopefully we can answer all of your questions on this presentation, and if not, more than happy for you to drop in and have a chat with us. Okay, so I just want to give you guys a reminder of who we all are in the management and kindergarten team. So obviously you've got Sam and myself, we're the owners, the approved providers. We also have Beck, who is our centre director, and Laura, who will be covering Beck in the centre director's role when Beck goes off on maternity leave in a couple of weeks' time. We also have our kindergarten teachers, who are Anthea, Glynis and Kate. And what we are going to do is we are all going to read some of these slides for you, so you'll hear all of our voices and become a little bit more familiar with who we are. So let's go.
What is kindergarten? Our kindergarten program provides an educational program in which qualified early childhood teachers and educators work to engage each child in effective learning, thereby promoting communication, learning and thinking, positive relationships, identity, and well-being.
Why Child's Play Kindergarten? At Child's Play Torquay, we firmly believe in providing a smooth, sensitive and tailored transition program for all children entering primary school. We cater for each children's individual abilities, strengths and interests. Our kindergarten program allows children the opportunity to experience high quality learning opportunities, a chance to form friendships and a magical year of discovery, lots of fun and real personal growth. Here at Child's Play, we offer a 3 and a 4-year-old kindergarten program, which are both delivered by fully qualified kindergarten teachers. We have Anthea, Kate and Glynis, who all hold a nationally recognised early years teaching qualification. Their educational programs promote children's social and emotional development through quality guided interactions with their educators and their peers. It prepares each child to be a confident and involved learner for their next phase of life, primary school. It also provides families with valuable progress reports to view how their child has developed and progressed throughout the year. We also offer twice a year parent-teacher interviews. This is a designated time where you can have some one-on-one time with your kindergarten teacher and talk about your child's development and progress and ask those questions that may be on your mind. Is my child ready? How are they going? Do you think they're going to be ready for school next year? We also have an exciting calendar of events, which includes special days, educational visits, any community events, incursions, excursions, and much more. Our kindergarten program is designed to create an integrated transition program with lots of advice and support for families who are getting ready to go to primary school.
What does 3-year-old kindergarten look like? Our kindergarten programs run from 8:30 to 2:30 daily within the long day, and the program is run by a bachelor qualified kindergarten teacher. Therefore, children that attend will have a minimum 6 hours of kindergarten teaching per day. Children aren't required to attend a minimum set amount of days for 3-year-old kindergarten, and if children attend more days, then they will receive more than the expected amount of contact kindergarten teaching. An educational play-based program is offered, combining children's interest-based topics and intentional teaching topics. We provide lots of open-ended learning opportunities and focus on a holistic development of each child.
What does 4-year-old kindergarten look like? The government advises that every child should receive a minimum of 15 hours of 4-year-old kindergarten a week. Our kindergarten program here at Child's Play runs from 8:30 in the morning till 2:30 in the afternoon within the long day. The program is run by bachelor trained kindergarten teachers. Therefore, every child that attends will have a minimum of 6 hours of kindergarten teaching per day. It's required that children attend either 2 full days per week or 3 half sessions per week, which gets them to their 15 hours of kindergarten teaching they need. The benefit of doing kindergarten in a long daycare is that if your child does attend more days per week, they actually benefit from having extra contact hours with the kindergarten teachers. The educational program is a play-based program which combines the children's interests based on topics and intentional teaching to extend on every child's learning.
What does kindergarten look like at Child's Play Torquay? The government recommend that all children enrol in 4-year-old kinder should have at least 600 hours of kinder teaching in this year prior to school. Our kindergarten runs for at least 44 weeks of the year, as the teachers have 8 weeks leave per year. The kindergarten program generally runs in line with the school term, and if there are any changes in this, we will notify you throughout the year. Your child is still able to attend kindergarten during the school holiday period. The program will just be slightly altered. What is a government-approved funded kindergarten program? A funded kindergarten program means the government will assist with the funding of the educational program that is run at the service. The amount the government pays to the service is used to enrich the program and ensure the educators have adequate resources. This does not affect your fees. These will remain the same. The fees remain the same as it covers the cost to have the kindergarten teacher for the 5 days a week and additional hours to ensure all working families have access to the required kindergarten program hours required. This also covers the meals provided, all incursions, excursions, and any additional resources required to facilitate the program.
What are the differences of council kinder versus child's play kinder? So the first thing you need to be aware of are the fees. The fees are slightly different in the way that they're charged and how fees are allocated. So in a council kinder, they're allocated by the term, so you'll get a termly fee, and it really depends on what your situation is, depends on how much the fees are. Generally, fees in council kinder are a little bit cheaper than they would be in long daycare. So if budget is something that's on your mind, then you really need to consider what works best for you. The other big factor is flexibility of times and days. So in long daycare, in an integrated setting, you can choose whatever time and whatever days you want to fit in with your needs and your lifestyle. Whereas in council kinder, there will be many groups that will be running, but there'll be set times for pick up and drop off. So it's just like a school day. So you'll have to pick up at a certain time and drop off at a certain time. And you have to really think about your work schedule and if it can really suit your lifestyle. Sometimes if you're both working, if both parents are working, it can be extremely difficult to actually facilitate sending your children to council kinder. The other big difference is the fact that council kinder is only actually run through term times. So you have to consider what's going to happen with your children and who's going to look after your children when they have really, really long school holidays. Is it going to work for you? Is that something that you can do? Because realistically, council kinders will be shut for 13 weeks out of a full year. It's great if you've got that flexibility in a job, then that's something that you can really consider. But it might not be that you've got that flexibility or that you can work from home. So if you continued with child's play, you could have kinder every day, and it would be something that we would really appreciate and really want to do for you. So there's lots of stigma or lots of confusion in relation to having a standalone kinder and having a kinder in a long daycare setting. I just want to and some people will say, oh, a standalone kinder is much better. There's actually no difference. So the curriculum and what's expected of the children and what actually goes on really depends on how much the service actually puts into that. And we try and make our kinder program really, really stimulating and really get our children ready for school. So the curriculum is exactly the same. I suppose one of the benefits, because it's integrated into a program, is that there's actually more time with a teacher, and depending on how many days you actually need of care, we can really, really extend on the learning and really make sure these children are prepared and ready for school. The other big difference is the fact that all the food is included at Child's Play, whereas when you send your child to a council kinder, you have to make sure that they have appropriate snacks in a lunchbox, and they have to make sure that they know how to open a lunchbox and how to eat out of a lunchbox. And so one of the things that is my bugbear when I send my children to school is the fact that I have to prepare packed lunches, and you won't have to do that if they continue at Child's Play. And like I said, it's longer days, so it's more convenient for working families.
Our curriculum. At Child's Play, we use an emergent curriculum, which is a collaborative approach to planning for children's learning, which incorporates their ideas and interests, as well as intentional teaching strategies by the educators. An emergent curriculum is always evolving, and it is responsive to the children's changing interests and needs. This requires educators to get to know the children and carefully observe so that they can understand the children's current learning and their interests. It's very flexible and encourages children to have input into the program themselves. The benefits of an emergent curriculum mean that children are involved in the planning process as we encourage their ideas and their input. It promotes the children's sense of agency and belonging, and they get that feeling that they are in charge of their own learning. The activities engage and excite the children as it's based on their interests and is very appropriate for where their learning level is at. And it's extremely flexible. So if one day a child comes in and is interested in dinosaurs, we follow that interest there on the spot.
The term intentional teaching has become a part of the early childhood language in recent years. The early years learning framework defines intentional teaching as educators being deliberate, purposeful, and thoughtful in their actions and decisions. The EYLF presents a process for educated decision making that promotes intentional teaching and contributes to the learning outcomes. In the past, many early childhood educators have seen intentional teaching and curriculum decision making as being at odds with a child-centered approach, but research overwhelmingly supports the use of intentional teaching in all curriculum types. In our curriculums, informed teachers use their knowledge, judgment, and expertise to organise learning experiences for children. When unexpected situations arise, we recognise teaching opportunities and are able to take advantage of them. This is emergent curriculum. For example, the rooms explore the topic Letter of the Week, which promotes phonetic awareness, pre-literacy skills, and promotes the children to develop connections within their own world.
Play-based learning. In implementing the early years learning framework, educators should discuss and describe their understandings of the practice principles. One of the practices most commonly used in the early childhood sector is learning through play. Play-based learning is described in the early years learning framework as a context for learning through which children organize and make sense of their social worlds as they actively engage with people, objects, and representations. But what is play? Play is hard to define as there are a number of theories and types of play. Can you describe play? Young children's play allows them to explore, identify, negotiate, take risks, and create meaning. The intellectual and cognitive benefits of playing have been well documented. Children who engage in quality play experiences are more likely to have well-developed memory skills, language development, and are able to regulate their behavior, leading to enhanced school adjustment and academic learning.
School readiness. Research tells us that the most important indicator of a successful start to school is not with a child's IQ or their ability to read or write. It's with their social and emotional skills and their level of maturity. If you may be asking yourself, is my child ready for school? Consider all of their abilities. For example, are they able to concentrate? Can they sit in a group and not be distracted or distract others? Can they work cooperatively with others? Are they able to follow directions? Can they make choices and decisions? Are they able to be responsible for their actions and their belongings? Literacy and numeracy are components, but they're not as an important component as their social and emotional well-being, especially when changing to such a large environment. As they go into school, it is the responsibility of their prep teachers to further enhance and grow their literacy and numeracy skills. In 4-year-old kinder, there's constant assessment of your child's learning and development throughout the year, but especially during term 1. Our kindergarten teachers will assess your child, and if they feel like they're not ready for kinder, they'll have a discussion with you, and we can talk about reassessing your child's placement for the year. After this point, if there are any more concerns about their development or how they're progressing, a second year of kindergarten will be reassessed, but it will only be granted if there are 2 or more areas of concern. This is in line with the Department of Early Childhood Education's guidelines and their frameworks.
Transition statements. The Transition Learning and Development Statement supports the consistent transfer of information, irrespective of the school a child is going to. It provides an opportunity for children, their families, and the professionals working with them to contribute and have their views reflected in it. The transition statement is produced at the end of the year and is passed on to the school your child is going to attend. This statement is produced to support the child and ensure valuable information is passed on to the foundation teacher. The transition statements are produced by the kindergarten teacher and the child's family. The teacher will meet with you halfway through the year to complete your section together and will then meet with you again the first week of November for you to read over what the teacher has written. Then it will be passed on directly to the school. Transition statements. The information in the statement summarises the strengths of a child's learning and development as they enter school. It identifies their individual approaches to learning and interests. It indicates how the child can be supported to continue learning. The statement provides information to families about children's learning and development in early childhood curriculum outcomes. The information in the statement helps prep teachers to get to know the children entering their classes before they start, and to plan for each child's learning and development when they start school. The kindergarten teacher or primary teacher after this point may contact each other to discuss anything further.
We're always looking for families to join in our curriculum. This can be by coming into the room and sharing talents or special interests. We also ask for any volunteers that will be able to join us on excursions to help out with ratio. All we ask is that working with children checks are provided.
Okay, fees. As you probably already know, we offer 2 different types of sessions. We have a 6-hour session, which is 8:30 till 2:30. That is at the moment $72 per session, and we have a 12-hour session, which is 6:30 till 6:30, and that is $118 per session. A 10-hour session is for those families who are full-time. Again, that is $118, and that is for those families who are doing 5 days a week at Child's Play. These fees are obviously before CCS, so you will get some sort of rebate back from the government depending on your income and your activity hours.
What to bring to kinder. In your bag, we ask that you bring multiple changes of clothes. You pack a jumper or jacket and hat and beanie. Please make sure that all these things are labelled to save them getting lost.
Okay, so you probably already know all the answers to all of the points on this slide and the next slide. So I'm just going to leave you to read it, and then if there are any questions, then you can obviously come and see us in reception at any time. Okay, so we are at the end of the presentation now. So if there are any questions that we have not answered during this, then please either email us on the usual addresses or you can come and see us in reception.